geniuses as we start off your Super Week. We are 65 games in here on day 1 of Week 8. We're about to go live on the Rift.
All right, so we do get our first look at the new Spell Thieves here from Crepo on Morgana. Going to be able to get off extra gold and damage when she lands any sort of harassment in lane. She's a very, very offensive champion. I think we're going to see a lot more supports trend toward, mages, ranged mages down in the bottom lane because of those buffs to Spell Thieves, further boosting Morgana's power down in the bottom lane.
Bottom lane, that early level 2 is always kind of a huge factor.
Whoa.
And then it flows into a party, and then it flows back into the mid lane with Yellow P.
We got kind of bored of seeing everybody just standing at the river, so we got to see what they do while they're at the river.
Got to go to Voltron view and then back. So what we have as they move about, forgot what I was saying right there, but we'll just lock on to Poe Belter. LeBlanc last week coming in had 2 of her longest games at 52 and 51 minutes. People are figuring out how to slow down that early game assassination, that game ender, and they're figuring out how to make it go long. With LeBlanc going that long in games, it could get scary. So, as you said, in the mid lane, we'll definitely watch that as well.
I think this one's going to be action-packed. Not too long there. There's a lot of offensive power in the mid lane here, and I do expect a lot of attention.
Ooh, the early sweep.
Yeah, Lemonation a pretty big fan of that one. Usually when he does get that early sweeper, they go for the invade. So that's the camp wards that I'm talking about here for Evelynn. Hai has been able to use his trinket, so Meteos still has the option to invade later. He used his trinket as well during one of the river things there. So he's going to solo up his buff. Both junglers will solo, and they're aware of the starting position here for Snoopé. So they already know that he'll be ending his route up top.
Ooh, that's a ferocious jump right there.
Yeah.
That was close. We'll see what they can do. I'm still very interested in Crepo. First picking Morgana, not taking the Thresh away. It was completely open. Lemonation now able to get his favorite support, putting on some play damage in the bottom lane. And we got mid and bottom to really keep an eye on here.
Yeah, I mean, starting with the health crystal there for Lemonation, with the cost reduced, definitely viable starting on. We'll see how early he rushes that upgrade for the Sight Stone, because not only is the health crystal lower cost, but also the Sight Stone is. So rushing Sight Stone is a very, very efficient build. And I think that's what he's going for here. And that's, just adds on to his strategy of taking those trinket, sweeper trinkets first. He's going to get a lot of vision from rushing through to that Sight Stone early, and he won't need his warding trinket.
It's a good thing for Cloud9. They usually don't ward too much in the bottom lane, but when they can and they get ahead, they definitely take over the whole entire map.
So
Snoopy,
this is a very dangerous thing to face check. They see the ping from Snoopé. He was expecting Meteos to be there. You can't face check a bush that you think Elise is going to be in. As Evelynn.
Lemonation getting some good damage on. Doesn't look like they'll have enough to finish him off just yet. Don't see the jungler aggression in the top side of the map. We'll just see Lemonation taking a bit here in the bottom lane.
Snoopé is going to do a little counter jungling here too. And the wave happens to be pushed up at the turret though. Evelynn not going to be able to get off any ganks at the mid right now. We'll have to see if Meteos decides to go for something on that mid lane as Pavelter is extended.
And something, again, we mentioned this last week for Crepo. He's actually, well, we got a pause coming in here. Will it be Cloud9? Cloud9 definitely expected to do well here in the Super Week. People are wondering, will EG be able to bring up the score that everybody thought they would have coming over here into North America? Still getting aggressive in the jungle, but also getting aggressive in the bottom lane. Crepo just takes that one, knowing they aren't too much of a bad position, and they trade back.
Binding hit. There we go.
Very, very close. Snoopy's going to come around backside here. He's kind of sensing Meteos will be somewhere in the wing, and he's going to be sensing right.
He just ran into Meteos in the jungle, so they should be aware that Meteos is on this side of the map. That should definitely be communicated to the bottom lane here. Meteos has been able to sneak into the bush. As we can see, Crepo playing pretty far back here, and he's fairly low on mana.
Uh-oh. Yellow P close. There it is.
He gets it off.
Very nice. They try to get the Q off.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Elise can get that magic damage off to burn through the shield, then following up with the cocoon, so he's able to get the flash down. Successful gank. Summoner cooldown not available any longer. and they trade it back since Lemon Nation had been on the receiving end of that harassment before, having to burn his own flash.
So quite interesting. Usually we see Meteos in that top lane helping out Balls a little bit versus Inox, but right now they deliver that to the bottom lane. And they get a flash out of it, so we may see Meteos coming back in just a few minutes. Yellow Pete going to farm up the lane. We're 36 to 36 in that lane. Really, it's Pole Belter versus High right now, 37 to 19 in CS.
Yep, Kha'Zix's not able to get a handle in that lane. No help from jungle either, so Pobelter gonna have a pretty strong run here. As we said, any early leads from him have translated. Wow, Snoopy's so deep right here. This is so ridiculously dangerous.
This is really different from Snoopy as well.
Yeah, counter jungling, especially as Evelynn there. Even with that ward, if Elise shows up, she's got Repel, very long range gap closer, could get right onto him. But he was able to get in and get out successfully.
600 gold up, doing a very nice job. The whole team is really utilizing camps, trying to get in the face of Cloud9 right now, and somewhat winning the lanes, at least in mid.
I also want to call out the dual pink wards mid for High here. Yeah. You know, he had to play more passively. Usually Kha'Zix, there's a threat of him all-inning you and going for that kill, and that's what enables him to get a lot of CS in lane. It's just the threat of you know, jungle gank and stuff like that. But since there's an Evelynn on that team, a lot of that threat is gone, and he's had to play more passive. So Pobelter able to bully the lane. Dual pink wards though, High should be feeling a little bit more safe.
Crepo with a little troll face smile there to Lemon Nation as he tries to gain bush control. Meteos trying to work off that flash being down in the bottom lane onto Yellow Pete, but he's not going to gain anything here, and he just gets his wolves back in the bottom jungle. So at least that helps. He's not dry for experience there.
Lemon Nation going to look for Snoopy because they have those deep wards at the camp. They saw where Snoopy just left from, and they knew he was in the area here. This is all about can he land the hook. It's a hard hook to land. He got it.
He can land the hook. Oh my gosh, the roam comes out at level 4, 5, and 6. Cloud9 picking up first blood.
That was just a really well-played hook there from Lemon Nation. That's a hard one to land. Evelynn, let's see, what is he, level 5? He should have his speed boost by then. And Lemon Nation's able to make it work. Very, very well played from him. Able to get the first blood for his team. Giving it up to High means that High will have a much easier time in that mid lane. Lemon pretty much just saving that mid lane right there, and they've put more wards inside this jungle.
Oh, this is going to be close. They do not decide to do it. Meteos would have had to repel in and take that turret damage, then repel out and gets to safety. So good damage still. They are really starting to turn the game around already. Crepo throws it onto him, and Yellow Pete almost got hooked there.
Yeah, he's taking advantage.
That's nice.
There we go, the combo.
That's nice. That'll work for him a little bit. Sneaky. He's going to take a zap, too. Wow, they gained very good control of the bottom lane.
Counter jungling coming in. Meteos hits the cocoon!
Snoopy just gets off the deathbed, and they set him back down. Pobelter trying to get out of this one. He just lost all of his health, getting it back, loses it again, and they're going to be able to push him out.
He's going to have to flash over the...
No, he'll be all right.
Pillar? Okay. Cocoon does land. Now, in the bottom lane...
Getting aggressive.
We saw really both supports making pretty big plays here. The binding into... Whoa, he got it.
That's going to be enough! Wow.
So that's the all-in aggressive potential that I was talking about for Kha'Zix that usually allows him to get CS in lane.
Didn't even have
and
ISO.
The reason he, you can't really do that before is because Evelynn always has that threat of being there. But since they just killed Evelynn, High goes super aggro, catches Pobelter off guard, switches up his play style. Very, very good sign of a top player, knowing when to go extremely aggressive. Another hook from Lemon Nation, but it's so deep under the turret.
Yeah, it's just for the here's and there's. They're saying your base belongs to us right now. And Balls is trying to say that here in the top lane. Level 8 to level 7. Inox is still going to be able to beat him out there. Subjugate is coming back up, so Balls has to be a little careful in this situation.
Yeah, Inox wants to get his cannon minion wave, and Snoopy actually does not come up to collapse. So Inox gets out scot-free.
So we did say that High was down in mid lane, but he has picked up all 3 kills of the game right now. We'll see if anything can come from this in bottom lane. EG really needs to make something happen. Looks like Pobelter's
He just walked by the ward, so they're going to know that he went down there, and High can shove this lane in, try and make Pobelter lose out some CS. That sort of desperate roam there from Pobelter after getting killed, not paying off for him. And gains another few more minions for High's lead at mid.
Now looking at High's build, we see them either go for a Kha'Zix go Bloodthirster or Tiamat. Why Tiamat this time being so far ahead?
A lot of times, the laner Kazakhs, actually junglers as well, much preferring the Tiamat. You can clear out minions and get that isolation damage a lot easier. Ooh, there it is, the combo. Again, binding into Flame Choppers.
It's good lockdown from both. We'll see High being far ahead. He does have that Tiamat this time around.
Snoopy's deep in enemy territory.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's going to have a good situation here. They leave him.
He needs to stop and... Oh, I think he might be going for an execute here. That's such...
I think yeah. I think we're good to go.
All right. So
he is...
I don't know why he was that deep, though. But, like, what is he going to gain out of going this deep into the jungle? He's constantly been looking for counter jungling, but now he's got himself trapped, and he's wasted time.
He's gonna be out. He's gonna get himself back out too.
The jungle is cleared though. So this, while it was a good escape, he's still down because of this. And Meteos gained 2 more camps during that time. These pink wards are really paying off for Cloud9. Both of them from the mid lane are still standing there.
That's all right. He's just got a blue buff. He's got to walk it off.
I don't know. Snoopy's still back there. We need a time. How much time has Snoopy spent on the other side of the jungle? Because he's really getting behind. He's level 6 to level 8 of Meteos.
Oh, it's a top lane. It was just a decoy. Balls is coming in for the kill.
All right.
This game came 4 kills out of nowhere. 1 now for Balls in the top lane, and 11.5 minutes in. Cloud9 was down some 600 gold in the beginning, but these kills have absolutely come out of nowhere. Snoopy finally back on his own side of the rift, and he's going to be back to helping the team as well. Clearing up red. Hopefully get some ganks here. There's nice shutdown gold to be had on High, but Dragon's coming up soon, and EG can be forced into something real bad.
Yeah, Dragon is up. I don't think anybody's killed it yet.
Not coming up.
It definitely is a possibility, though.
Right.
I like bringing that up because Elise has the ability to kill it very easily, and Kazakhs on her team makes it that much more of a possibility. They can burn it down very quickly as soon as they get any lead in either either mid or bottom lane. They can definitely go for that one. Bottom lane now looking to do more invades. You see their wards at the camps on red side have run out, so they need to replenish them.
Oh, yep, Snoopy getting caught out. The hook comes in. Another 3 get the kill and assist on that. Sneaky now 1-0-0 for himself.
That's going to be Dragon. They definitely can easily do it now. There's no possibility of a smite steal. However, Kreppel could be a hero, maybe land a long-range binding to hit it, and it doesn't even want to try. So we talked about how a lot of the early game was going to determine this this one, and it was going to be mid lane and jungle. Mid lane jungle going definitely in Cloud9's favor here. Very hard time for Snoopy now that he's been caught out several times. Meteos easily going to be able to have full reign of EG's jungle.
Meteos level 8 to level 9 there. Pobelter still taking out a huge chunk of damage. High a level ahead of Pobelter as well. Snoopy trying to come in. Can't get no agonies. Embrace to go down. A very nice flash into the Soul Shackle. Sneaky will surely go down here. Can they turn this around on Elimination? The bottom lane of EG usually not to win the carry, but they're going to have to this game just over the shoulder.
Ooh, so close. Both skill shots just crisscrossing there. Really good dodge from Lemon, but man, this is the combo that EG have really found some power in. The binding into Flame Chomper over and over again. Every time we take a look at bottom lane, that's what's happening. And this is the only lane for EG that's winning. This is their hope right now. All their hopes are on this end game Jinx. So Cloud9 probably turning their sights towards that Jinx to try and keep her down. Because there's always a hope for the end game for EG. If Yellow P can get very fed on Jinx, she's definitely a hyper carry towards that late game.
Now, is it still acceptable if she goes even with Sneaky the whole time on Caitlyn?
Yeah, I mean, going towards the late game, it should be okay. If the rest of your team's losing like that, it's not going to be enough. Because they need somebody to really carry them out of this pit. It's going to be hard. But, you know, Snoopy on Evelynn always has the possibility of turning something around with a gank. Finally, the last 2 hits of this pink ward, they can get it.
Takes 2, almost 3. Becomes a crowd here as Pobelter joins into the help, and looks like they are going to get a nice dive on Sneaky in the bottom lane if everybody follows through here after blue buff.
More counter jungling here because Meteos is showing up top. They try to take something down bottom. I like the call from EG. Good communication. Take away the blue buff in exchange for that top. Inox, they just don't want to let their blue buff be countered as well. So he's trying to get this before Meteos comes down there. Can't get it in time, though.
What he can. Looks like they're going to trade back and forth. High getting mid lane as well, so they
Yeah.
begin to open up the map. Not going to be as easy now for EG to get themselves back in this game. They can't really force any fights being so far behind. They get some gold back in the bottom lane, and you see just how much damage that High can do. Great coverage on the warding allows him to get mid lane as well, possibly.
Yeah, going to be really hard for EG to come back now. Everybody getting bullied around. This top lane, though, they are calling the top lane over, trying to collapse on mid. Can they get the 3 versus 5? They're not really collapsing at the same time here. They would definitely need a binding from Crepo to hit and keep High there as long as possible. Oh, they got one.
Going in for the fight. I think they found a little bit more they could bite off on this one. Knight Meteos gets the flash out into the brush. They go for the hook from Lemon, and it looks like they still may want the fight. Inox throws up the pillar. And on the other side, we do see the High taking quite a bit of damage, down to about 550 HP, but they are safe. Pretty chaotic fight. There's a few ultimates used out there by EG for nothing.
Yeah, EG trying to pull a little pincer there. That was their opportunity to get back in this game. If they 5 versus 3 and actually were able to burst down High, but it's hard for them to collapse like that at the same time. Not quite coordinated perfectly to get that 5-man team there all at the same time, and by the time that Cloud9's bottom lane gets there, they can't fight it anymore. Anytime there's an even numbers fight, EG does not want to take it.
And talking about uneven numbers, we see balls there, and now Inox 12 to 10 are the levels of that lane, 158 to 120 in CS. Granted, this is Inox's first time on Trundle this game, so he's trying to do what he can for the team on that pick. Balls is Shyvana, though. That is his 6-1, 7 plays on Shyvana, and he has not really been touched this game, so he's already going to be a beast. That's another factor that EG has to think about going to late game.
And now that High, you know, he's got so much damage, and the Hydra completed, he can easily clear his wave and start roaming around. So it's only going to get worse for the other lanes of EG here, and he definitely wants to keep that bottom lane Jinx down, because that's the one spot where they could rely on and hope to get back in.
And they're keeping a huge, I don't want to say huge line, but just a line of pink wards. 3 right there in the top, and 1 just under High, leaving the river behind him. So they are making sure that Snoopy has no entry across the river into any part of the jungle. He's going to have to walk into the fight with the team.
Yeah, Cloud9's strategy coming into this was, all right, Evelynn, we're just going to completely ward up her red side jungle.
Yeah.
Because that's where we feel most of the ganks are going to come from. That's where most of her position will be. And they were able to get it right. And the counter jungling that followed up really got Snoopy behind. Top lane didn't have to actually worry about the Evelynn ganks, because they always knew where she was, and Balls was able to pressure in that Trundle. Now he's, you know, a full completed Blade of the Ruined King up. Blade of the Ruined King completed so much stronger than just the Cutlass. So it's actually a pretty big power spike for him.
See where they can go. Just trading a few zaps and wards back and forth, trying to gain control of the pinks now. It's not even like they want to use regular wards this game. It's just pinks for whoever can throw them down.
What is that creepy noise?
It is quite creepy, though. Meteos going in, volatile spider, creepy as well. Hooks, creepy from the dead guy, and it looks like they're gonna get the play in. Yellow Peak gets himself out, but isn't enough. No way! High hopscotches over the mid lane wall, and he gets himself a kill. Polebelter answers back with a bit of front end explosion from LeBlanc. It's all onto Inox now. He is not tanky enough, even with Subjugate on. He goes down as well, and everybody's getting a piece on Cloud9.
Yeah, Cloud9, they just pretty much put on a clinic on how to play against Eve. Really doing a good job, everybody controlling the vision. And this is the hook onto the highest priority target.
Yeah.
Shyvana tries to jump in, but they only have so many answers. You bind Morgana, Kozik's going to be able to jump in there too and finish him off.
That is such a ridiculous fight. High and Meteos were instantly on the person in the back, the last person on the back line before anybody knew about it. The least Kozik's coming up very big for Cloud9 here, especially in the position they've put themselves. 4-0-1
going for
High.
Gank, really low life though.
Oh dear. Elimination wanted to back for a second. He said, quick, take it, and Sneaky did.
Yeah, I mean, if Snoopy had taken that lantern, they might have been even able to kill Snoopy there. So Very dangerous for him.
Definitely would have been a whoopsie. Deathfire Grasp now out for Pobelter. We're 20 minutes in. We saw him did make a little bit of an impact in that last fight. Maybe they can find some picks. They are not wanting the full team fights right now. Those are looking good. We got 33,000 to 26,000. The lane's not really waving it, or mid lane rather, in favor of High and CS, but he has had so much in kills, it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah. EG definitely, they have to find some sort of pick here with Crepo, and then have Pobelter in the area so that they can combo a kill. But man, High with the Hex Drinker as well, has the shield, so even if he gets caught, hard to finish him. Very, very tough here for EG, but they get some global gold back.
If EG can get some good wards down, get a little bit of out-rotating on Cloud9, they can definitely put Yellow Pete to work on Jinx and get those towers down. They don't have too much power besides Jinx and Trundle to really get those turrets down. But if they can get to it, it'll be great for them. 7-2, objectives may need to be the focus for them with kills not going in their favor. And we see it's going to be High in the bottom lane, starting the split push now. Tiamat, or Hydra rather, coming into effect.
Yeah, they can actually have everybody. Any person could split push here for Cloud9. They have balls going up top too. He definitely can handle himself versus Inox. So the 1-3-1 for Cloud9. They can farm all lanes like this, but really they're looking to collapse into the jungle and find Snoop again. They've kept Snoop down so well. He's a very easy target if they ever do find him out.
Sneaky, making sure he gets the ace in the hole onto Pobelter. Kind of talked about that last week. It's almost the obligatory ace in the hole. If she's in range, you got to shoot her. See everybody warding up. Pobelter home guards on, tries to get back to this bottom turret. Seems like it's going to be the next point of defense for Evil Geniuses. They would really love to get a few kills on this. They have some gold to play with if they get a kill onto High, but it needs to go to the right person.
So Shyvana actually rotating down to join this team. They want to make it a 5-on-5. Snoop's behind the enemy here. Snoop coming in to get that 4-man ult. They got Sneaky.
Soon as the black shield goes down, they punish the rest of the team without being able to save him. Keep going into the fight, and they're still going to get kills. High coming up with 2 actually on that one, the double kill, but they're being forced out now. The flash over the walls. Inox is focusing very hard and tunneling onto High. Pobelter wants the rest of that kill, but it looks like the team calls each other back. They're going to start organizing.
Yeah, Inox making a big play there. He got there before Balls. Balls staying in the mid lane, and EG is able to cut him off. That's a huge win for EG, getting a first step back into this game. All right, so there everything got used on Crepo. Pobelter getting Sneaky solo. He uses the full combo, and then Snoop has to die for the kill.
Yeah.
So it ends up 3-3, but here's the turn. When Inox comes in, they have to have everybody on Cloud9 flash away. And Lemonation sacrifices himself here, but he allows High to get out. Good rotation down there from Inox.
See how quickly Cloud9 assesses the fight after seeing Inox and after saying, I think we tried a little too much to get just Black Shield off.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for the rotation from Inox, they would have come out ahead on that because High jumped back in on Crepo, and they were up in numbers.
Good movement. Inox still coming into play very big for the team, being so far down in his lane. That's Trundle. He's going to be stealing your stats anyways. Sunfire Cape fixed up onto him. Cutlass is finished, going to the Blade of the Rune King. Still has a dagger and a bit more to work with. 24 minutes on the clock. That gold lead is still going up in favor of Cloud9 despite the back and forths here. The EG is starting to get a little favor in. 1 minute and 20 seconds on the Dragon, and Cloud9 is looking to make that completely theirs by catching EG off guard anywhere they can. Good guy, Yellow.
All right, so our AD carry will take the hit for our AP carry because he's got lifesteal. That's not the optimal choice, but definitely one they're going to go with here because he can steal back up.
Yellow Pete won't be jumping in and out.
It's basically EG are looking for the exact same thing. Pobelter on a free all-in for Sneaky. If he can get a full combo off on Sneaky again, that's pretty much the best case scenario for Evil Genius.
Becomes easier this time. Sneaky does not have a barrier to use. He does have flash, so that may come in handy just a little bit.
All right,
yeah,
Cloud9 force the fight here. EG have an opportunity. They can make use of a nice Eve ultimate. got vision. He goes for it. He got
Oh
it.
my gosh! Snoopy comes in with the steal. He throws down Agony's Embrace on the team. Inox wanted to go in. They said, yeah, we got Baron, but they said, no, we don't want the fight. Great job on that. Cloud9 cleans up 2 kills, but
Yeah.
EG coming up with some big gold there.
That was a hero smite from Snoopy because he's smiting against Elise, one of the hardest champions in the game to smite against. Meteos not comboing his bite with his smite effectively right there, and EG able to stall this one a little bit. Now the Dragon at this point is worth a substantial amount of gold as well, so
Not top yet, but it's up there.
it's definitely a good consolation prize for Cloud9, and Meteos is able to land the smite.
So they lost Baron on Inox and Snoopy. You got it on your carries. It's going to be quite helpful. Prep. Oh, no, you don't lose it either. Oh, no. They are hunting right now for Baron treats. There's a Baron treat right there. Hi gets one for himself, and they're going to want some more.
Even their own jungle is not safe. Look at the ward coverage. It's ridiculously in Cloud9's favor. So EG, even with the Baron buff, having a hard time turtling.
It's almost like Cloud9 is activated. We need to find them faster. They were all right with them being semi-powerful, but now that they have a little bit of Baron, they want them dead instantly. They're going to win the fights pretty fast, too, especially with the power they bring to the table. The last Whisper's been finished onto high. We already got resistances after the Golem Spirit build being built up on Meteos. He's been throwing himself into these fights to initiate with balls. They're on top of the game right now. Cloud9, very Cloud9-esque.
And High actually isn't really worried as much about the Pobelter harass there because he's got Merc Treads on top of his Hex Drinker.
Yeah.
Decent amount of magic resist. It's really mostly what he's worried about, so not too bad a situation for him.
Looking at Crepo's build, he goes straight for pretty much ability power all day after the Sightstone. Azanya's there, Mikhail's Crucible finished off for Lemon Nation. Hopefully he can get Sneaky a little bit of HP, a little bit of safety from Pobelter if he gets a nice eye line on him.
Mikhail's as well for Lemon Nation.
Yeah.
And he's still working on the upgrade for Talisman. They do want the speed boost eventually. Bunch of Banshees in the works as well. Whenever you play against LeBlanc, pretty much the go-to item.
One's finished up for Meteos. 27 minutes into this, Cloud9 pretty much reorganizing, getting all the lanes pushed before they want to get down. Some final pressure here on Evil Geniuses. Super Week begins. Cloud9 looking very strong here coming into the week. We hear a lot of teams. It's different. Yeah, games are still a best of one, but their days are a little bit longer. You're playing more than one game, and you got to consider, which is the harder game of the day. Sometimes we call them the trap games, and teams can get caught.
Yeah, Cloud9 definitely playing a little more cautious after that Baron steal. Snoopy bought his team some time with that one, but oh no, he might be giving it away here.
So close. If he only knew. The cat and mouse game with the vision of Evelyn right now. Snoopy gets himself not in a great spot to initiate with the team if they were going on anything. It looks like they're just going to stave off the aggression here. Snoopy going to try to clear some wards and place some wards if he can, knowing that everything on the plate right now can help them.
All right, so the sweeper that's upgraded is Lemon's. So Lemon will be able to have the oracles try and see Snoopy if he does come around the side. And they also are placing several pink wards. So if Snoopy roams into the wrong spot, they can actually catch him out again. But he's constantly looking for counter jungling here. Cloud9 looking to shove up again. Snoopy will come in the rear. This is pretty much going to be his chance for the rear engage. Try and get off a good shield.
Oh man. They don't have flash for the Soul Shackle. That's going to be a walk into this fight. Pobelter over the wall. The turret goes down.
Boss.
They're not even in their base for the fight. They don't have the turret. Whoa! A huge explosion of damage. Cloud9 is shredding right now, but so is everybody that tried to get to the back line of Cloud9. Evil Geniuses only has Pobelter left, and C9 mitigating that damage by just microing each other in and out. Ace Evil Geniuses and take the inhibitor, possibly the game here.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the game for Cloud9, and they deserve it. Very well played against Evelyn, keeping her under check the entire game.
What an amazing game. High and Meteos. Lemon Nation pulling out the level 4, 5, and 6 roam to get a kill onto Snoopy. Then again after they had EG's number from the beginning of the game, Cloud9 gets the first win of Super Week.